All right. So, and as just a reminder, the folks that we have to talk to you today is going to be folks from admissions, financial aid, and first year experience. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and navigate. So folks, when you need me to click to the next slide, go ahead and let me know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So again, there's the people that are going to be here with the different departments. And again, some of the things that we're doing this for is making sure that we begin to develop a sense of belonging for transfer students, making sure that you're all prepared and engaged for orientation. We want to encourage support-seeking behavior. So it's one thing to know about the resources, and it's another to actually be active and go out there and get the support that you need. And then also learn some of the subtle and small differences between the community college services that you got and some of the services that we have at CSUMB.
All right. All right. So it's ready to go. All right. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone can hear me. My name is Eddie Chavez. I'm an admission counselor for Cal State Monterey Bay. I'm here to let you know about the next steps to submit your enrollment confirmation. First one is to pay your $100 enrollment confirmation deposit, which is due on May 1st. It reserves your spot for the fall, and you can actually do that on your CSUMB dashboard. After you submit it, you can actually register for the orientation. Please keep that in mind. Once you make your enrollment confirmation, it will take about 2 business days in order for you to be able to see and be able to register for orientation, as well as for housing if you're interested in applying for housing. The next step is submit your enrollment confirmation via your applicant dashboard, which is, there's a screenshot right there to see what it will look like and when you can actually make the payment. Next slide, please. All right, so the next step is to make sure that to submit all your final official transcripts that are due by July 8th. We prefer if you can send them electronically, if they're available from your community college. You can just go straight to their school website and request them from there, and then send it to CSU Monterey Bay. Your applicant dashboard shows which transcripts are needed by the admissions office, so please take a look at that to see if there's any other transcript that you will need to submit to CSUMB. Next week. All right. In the event if you happen to have any questions regarding on the next steps in admissions or need assistance submitting your enrollment confirmation, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. There's our contact information, 831-582-3738, or you can send us an email to admissions@csumb.edu. Thank you, and I'll pass the mic to Noel.
Hi, everyone. My name is Noah Lockett, and I'm one of the financial aid counselors here at CSU Monterey Bay. There is a lot of information with financial aid, so hopefully with this next couple of slides, I can sum it up, but not a problem. We do have our contact information at the end. So here are a few reminders about FAFSA and the DREAM Act application. It opens every year from October 1st, and the priority deadline is March 2nd. So if you guys haven't received any estimated award letter from us, go ahead and make sure that CSUMB is listed on your FAFSA or your DREAM Act application. If it's not listed, I did provide our school code as well to list CSUMB on your FAFSA or DREAM Act application. And then the next step is, once you got your estimated award letter, some of you are selected for documentation on your to-do list for your OASIS or on your OASIS account. Keep in mind that we do need those documentations in order to finalize your awards. But as of now, if you did receive an estimated award letter, or if you did not, please reach out to us, and then we can see different scenarios of why we haven't received it. Next slide, please. Now, friendly reminders, you want to check your CSUMB emails over the summer once you guys received your CSUMB email. That's how we communicate to you if you were selected for any documents, if you were posted your final awards on your OASIS account, or if you have any inquiries, we will definitely communicate through CSUMB emails. Payment deadline is July 30th, 2021 for the fall semester. Please keep in mind whatever financial aid, if it's not enough to cover, do not worry. We do have additional loans, installment payment plans for tuition or housing. But if you are planning to pay out of pocket, then your deadline is July 30th for the fall 2021 semester. Also keep in mind to check your to-do list. Like I said, if you were selected for anything or any additional documents on your to-do list on your OASIS, you want to make sure to confirm and complete those. And then also, let's just say financial aid, including grants and scholarships. If it's not enough to cover, we do offer additional loans, like I said. Friendly reminder, we do not offer the BOG fee waiver. So that means financial aid will, depending if you're eligible for it, it will cover your tuition and other expenses. Next slide. So lastly, this is our contact information. If you guys have any inquiries, we do also have drop-in Zoom hours every day, each week until here on out. So if you guys have any questions, you do meet one-on-one, especially for myself or any financial aid counselor, to answer any questions or just to clarify or even just to verify your FAFSA application, or if you need help completing those additional documentations, we're here to help. Thank you.
Noelle, there's a couple of questions in the chat that maybe you can just answer because other people may have similar questions. And one was, how will they know if they've been selected for that verification?
Of course. You can also see it on your FAFSA when you complete your FAFSA application. But if not, it will be on your OASIS Student Center under your to-do list. And it will definitely say, if you click on your to-do list, it will say which department and it will say financial aid.
Okay, and there's also a question about submitting a loan application to CSUMB, but that's probably that might be more of a question that you'd answer individually, or is that a general question?
General question? Yeah, I can answer that. That's a general question. For loans, if you want to take out additional loans for the upcoming year, we won't have that ready until June. Usually everything will happen around after orientation, such as additional loan information or any other questions or your final awards. But yes, everything will happen in June after orientation, and we'll have that available on our website as well.
And then another question about the loan entrance counseling. I think that's what it's about, says the required loan course. So that, how do they sign up for that?
Of course. So that will be part of your orientation. Such as myself, one of the financial aid counselors will present about the loan entrance, and we'll go more information of the workshop, the master promissory note, but that will be within the orientation.
Okay.
Do we estimate tuition fees?
Okay, and there were other questions that weren't financial aid that I'll answer those towards the, we can answer, or I can answer those towards the end, I guess.
All right.
So hi everyone, we are first year experience. We oversee orientation and welcome programs. And just to introduce ourselves, I'm Cami Mendoza. I'm the first year experience student coordinator, and I'm a third year from Tracy, California, majoring in human development and family studies with a Japanese language and culture minor. And I'll pass it over to Angel.
Hi, I'm Angel Ruiz. I'm the other FIE student coordinator. I'm a fourth year from Silmar, California. Biology major with a concentration in molecular bio, and my pronouns are he and his.
And next slide, please.
So for our fall 2021 orientation, there's two parts to it. Part one being a live virtual orientation session. And part two is a self-guided online orientation, which is asynchronous, which you do on your own time. It's mandatory for all students to complete all portions listed above. And for the transfer orientation dates, it'll be June 11th, having more of a local community college focus. So like Hartnell, Monterey Peninsula College, and then June 12th and 14th are the other transfer orientation dates. And that link in the bottom, if you all like to take a picture of it right now, it's how you can all go ahead, find more information about our orientation, and also you could also register for the orientation with that link as well.
So now we're going to mention how to exactly register for orientation. So the first step, as Edward mentioned, is to pay the $100 enrollment confirmation fee, and that can take anywhere from 24 to 48 hours to process. And you want to wait 24 to 48 hours because if you try to log into campus groups, you probably won't find your profile. So after 24 to 48 hours, we recommend that you go to the csumb.edu/orientation fall 2021 website. And when you scroll down, you'll find transfer orientation registration. That will redirect you to campus groups, and using your CSUMB login or your Otter ID and your password, you will gain access to campus groups, and then you can register for orientation. And please note that you only need to register for one orientation day. So registering for one orientation day, and then you will need to do the asynchronous self-guided orientation course. And the deadline to register for orientation is June 4th, 2021. And the deadline for the orientation fee is August 1st, 2021. But Angel will talk about that in just a moment. So next slide, please.
So here's just a visual of what Cami was just previously talking about. So step-by-step pictures. So once you enter csumb.edu/orientation, you will scroll down and then it will lead you to this where it says fall 2021 orientation registration. You will click on the transfer orientation registration. Since you guys are all transfers, there's no need to do the freshman one. So once you click on transfer orientation, on the bottom left corner, you can see they will take you automatically to where you can register. And you will click on the CSU Monterey Bay login, which once you're on that page, it will probably be on the top left corner. And the way you log in is by using your Otter ID and your password. And your Otter ID is the one that has your last name, or at least a portion of your last name, with probably 4 digits after that. And then the password should be a password that you created yourself. And once you're logged in, it will take you to the picture you see on the bottom right corner, where it will show you the options of the days for the orientation. And there's 3 orientation days. However, like Cami just mentioned, you only need to register for one of these 3 days. So depending on your availability or what day you would rather prefer to join, you'll click on one of the 3 and register for it. And the orientation fee is around $140. And like she mentioned, the fee is due by August 1st, and it could be paid with your financial aid as well.
And you get charged regardless of whether you attend. So you're going to get charged the orientation fee because it's like an orientation / first year experience fee. So you might as well, so please attend orientation. But you don't have to pay before you register. And I think you already said that, but I'm going to say that again because advising gets those questions all the time.
Yes. All right, next slide, please. So now what to expect at orientation and some of the events we do. So in orientation, you'll get to hear about the benefits of being involved in the CSUMB community, meet new peers and a fellow classmate. I didn't mean on campus, but you're gonna gain a connection doing your orientation through your orientation leader. So we'll actually pair you up with an orientation leader that might be majoring in the same major as you, or just another one of our OLs, and they will get to answer any questions you might have, talk about their college experience, and they're really there to support you and make sure that you feel connected to the campus. And of course, you'll hear from an academic advisor for your major, as well as other workshops with financial aid, different resources, all of that. In the summer, you can expect your online self-guided orientation. You need to complete that by July 31st, 2021. And that's asynchronous, and that tells you more about the resources, programs, organizations, just an overview once again of what we talk about during orientation. Also in the summer, our orientation leaders will have weekly office hours and communication. So whenever they have their office hours during the summer, you can go in and ask them any questions and just gain help, or you can just hang out and make cool connections with our OLs as well. And once again, that's a chance to ask questions, get assistance, and make connections. And then Otter Days. So Otter Days is during the start of the school year when we move in, and that's 2 weeks of events, 2 weeks of events that we plan, such as new student convocation, welcome back barbecue, where we invite supporters and family to come out and hang out, eat barbecue, all of that. We do our college mixers, where you can meet with your academic professors, deans, all of that. And then we have Otter Showcase, where that's a great way for CSUMB students to get involved and learn more about the organizations, clubs, all of that, different ways to get involved. And of course, Otter Days is a ton of fun. But I think that's pretty much it for us. So thank you.
So there are a couple of questions that folks had regarding orientation. One of them was somebody registered for the June 11th orientation, but they're not from a local community college. Do they need to change their date?
No, you do not need to change your date. Even if you're not a part of the local community college, if you already registered for it, you're good to go.
Awesome. And then another question was, what time is the virtual orientation? What time is orientation?
I believe our virtual orientation starts at 10. And I believe, Angel, do you know the exact time? I think it's 10 and it goes to 3 p.m.
Yeah, that's the approximate time.
Yes.
And then a while ago, somebody had a question about tuition, and I put next year's tuition into the chat. But unlike community college, where you pay per credit, at the CSU, you pay either halftime tuition, which is up to 6 units, or anything over 6 units, you pay full-time tuition, so halftime is $16.65 a semester and full-time is $28.71 a semester. And there's also some additional fees. We have a new student union, there's a health center fee. So it's about $3,500 plus the orientation. So it's like $3,600, including the orientation fee for full-time, and about $2,400, I think, for halftime.
Sharon, can you put that link to the tuition in the chat as well?
Yeah.
Reference.
Mhm.
Thanks. So we do have a question from somebody who's planning on transferring in the spring. When is their orientation in the spring?
For those transferring in the spring, your orientation would usually be in December. So it's usually the first week of December, but we'll probably have information now about spring orientation in November.
Awesome. So we're done with the formal presentation for the 3 areas that we have, but we're going to hang on here and answer any questions. There's a lot of good questions that are going on in the chat. If you'd like to either, probably the best way is to drop that question in the chat so we could answer it. One of the questions, Sharon, if you've seen it, is when will students be able to register for the fall?
Yeah, I'm going to go back up to, I'm going to go back up to the one about when will you get your email. And so on around May 4th, you will be what's called matriculated, which is when you get changed from a confirmed student to an official CSUMB student. And that's when you'll get your email within about 48 hours of that process. So like we expect that you should have your email by May 7th, your CSUMB student email by May 7th. And there was another question about immunization, like how do you provide documentation of your measles, mumps, rubella vaccination if you didn't have it? There's a couple of different ways you can go back to a school if you weren't vaccinated. There is a waiver that you have to submit every semester that says you understand that you'll have to leave the campus if there's an outbreak and you won't get a tuition refund. And then so there's a bunch of ways. I'll put the link in the chat. And then when do students register for classes? So you will actually register on all transfers register on June 13th. Sorry, July 13th. I'm off by a month. So it's after orientation. There's about a month between orientation and registration. And that's because the transcript deadline is July 8th. And we want you to be able to get your final transcript in.
And that's why it's just especially important to attend orientation, because you're going to get a lot of that information at that time to be prepared to register for classes. So there is a question about, are there scholarships that are available to help students? And so, yes, there are. If somebody can drop the link to the CSUMB scholarship application in there.
Yeah, I can elaborate on that.
Awesome.
So we do have some outside scholarships. Unfortunately for you guys incoming transfers for the 21-22, our biggest scholarship is the CSUMB scholarship application, but unfortunately offered prior year, so that is closed. But usually for example, 2023, we will promote that all over. That application will be open sometime in October, and then the deadline be sometime in February. But I can go ahead and drop that link for any outside scholarships that we may encounter that will be on our website. So I'll go ahead and put that down below as well.
I was going to add one other thing for those of you that are completing an associate for transfer degree. Although the last transcript that you need to send for admissions purposes is the one that Eddie said was due July 8th. If you did an associate for transfer, usually your community college hasn't processed that degree yet by July 8th. So advisors might ask you to ask for yet one other transcript, like early in the fall or at the end of summer, so that we've got, so that you can verify your associate for transfer or your GE certification. Because your July transcript will show your grades, but it doesn't always show your degree if you completed a degree.
Let's see, there was another question. How do we get in contact with student support services like SDR? So if somebody can drop their link into the chat, they are going to be with us for one of our other days. You can see here on the this last screen the different Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and the different resources that are going to be there. So on Wednesday, SDR is going to be presenting for CSUMB Transfer Week. You could always contact them via email, or you can come and check them out on Wednesday as well.
There was a question about when you might hear about housing assignments, and I think they're working through, because everything was kind of delayed this year, they're working through applications right now. They're working with continuing students, but as of right now, housing app is not full. So so I think you can feel very good about having housing. But they still have, there's definitely still slots open for housing.
There's also admissions folks, there's a question about how they're supposed to submit transcripts, either paper or electronic.
Yeah, so they can actually send it. We would prefer if they can send it electronically. They can go through the school website and request it. We will take about 24 to 48 hours for us to get it. Or they can send it to admissions@csumb.edu.
But it has to be
Yes, it has to be an
transcript.
official transcript.
So but I mean, the best thing is, so when he's talking about going on the school website, he means your school. So not CSUMB.
Yes,
You're going to go, if it's
community
Hartnell,
college.
you go on the Hartnell website or the MPC website or whatever community college, you go on that website and request the transcript from them.
Yeah, thank you for the clarification.
Thanks, Eddie. Sharon, there's a question about vaccinations potentially being mandatory, and how CSUMB would verify that if in the instance that it happens.
Yeah, so the CSU and the UC did, as you probably heard, announce that vaccinations would be required for students who are coming on campus, not for people probably that are taking classes remotely. Because that announcement came out last Wednesday or Thursday from the Chancellor's office kind of unexpectedly, there is a group working on how that verification process would work. The immunization, the regular immunization is you upload a copy of your documents, and it's not clear if they would go through the National Registry where everyone who's been vaccinated. So we don't know. That's a long babbling answer to say we don't know how it's going to happen yet.
There's a question about orientation. Yes, orientation is going to happen virtually. And then a question for admissions. Do we need to wait until our semester is over for official transcripts, or should we send them right now?
Oh, I was waiting for Eddie, but yeah, you want to wait till you have your spring grades on there, because that's the one you sent one that in March that had, you should have sent one in March that had your, what you're enrolled in, but we want to wait for the spring, your spring final grades. And then I'll put the, maybe I can put the dates, but so registration for fall semester will happen in July. Even the continuing students, like returning students, haven't registered yet because we've had to delay as we figure out the social distancing and everything like that. So, but registration will be in July.
Noel, there's a question about when they will receive their financial award letter.
I didn't type fast enough. I was just gonna talk about that. So we sent a communication to all transfers, incoming students, to the email that you provided on the FAFSA or the DREAM Act application, since you guys don't have your CSUMB emails. So you guys should see it on your OASIS Student Center, your estimated award letter. Now, if you don't see it, it could be multiple reasons. Maybe you didn't list CSUMB, or it can be, since we're working between years 2021 and 2022, it could be multiple scenarios. So if you don't see your award letter on your OASIS, your estimated award letter, we do have drop-in hours, like I said, and I can post our link to our website. If you don't see your award letter, then one of us as financial aid counselors can take a look with you on the drop-in hours.
Noel, there's another question about if someone just submitted their FAFSA, about how long does that take to get processed?
Oh, great question. It usually takes about a week or two. It is our beginning of our peak season. Like I said, we're working between years. So if you just did it recently, I would say follow up with us maybe towards the end of next week or beginning of the following week. And then we could take a look if you were selected for documents or just to see your estimated awards.
And then Eddie, there's a question that I'll let you answer, is how do they find their school ID number in their admissions portal?
Yes, you should be able to see it on your CSUMB dashboard. Once you log in, you should be able to see it also when you log in into your OASIS. It should be located on the top of on the main page. You'll be able to see your student ID number, which is a 9-digit number.
So there's a question that I'll answer, except it was about how can you pick classes? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to find it again. It was from someone about, let's see, we're transferring for a specific major and don't have an email yet. How do we decide what classes we need? So you starting on, as soon as orientation happens or the week leading up to orientation, you'll be able to make an appointment with an academic advisor or a counselor. So we'll be happy to meet with students after orientation. We don't usually do like one-on-one appointments to do the detailed schedule planning this early, because we don't know what you'll finish in the spring, and because we don't want to repeat all the stuff we're going to say at orientation. But we're happy to meet one-on-one with students to work out schedules and plans after orientation. So there's a month between orientation and registration, so we're have plenty of time to meet with everybody.
There's also a question that I don't know the answer to, but is there an app for OASIS?
Actually, with it should be on the CSUMB dashboard.
Well, the students don't, so yeah, you can get into OASIS from your CSUMB dashboard if you go to csumb.edu and log in. If you mean like a phone app, when I log into OASIS from my phone, it seems to load a mobile version.
Also, there's a question about whether fall 21 students can take summer classes here at CSUMB.
Yeah, so fall 21 students can take summer classes at CSUMB. You would want to check with an advisor before you do that, so that you don't take something that you were gonna, maybe you'll think it's saving you time, but you'll take a class in your major that will count for that. You would register through Open University, however, because you won't have a regular enrollment date but you could register for classes. And we do have drop-in advising, and I can stay and answer that question for one-on-one too. I'm going to put a link to the Oasis mobile app help in the chat for the question about Oasis. There is an Oasis mobile app, and there's actually a help page for it, so I'll put that in the chat.
There are also a lot of questions about how can the recording be disseminated. Make sure you complete the evaluation. Once that's done, I'll gather that list, and I'm going to upload this recording to the Transfer Student Success Center YouTube page, and I'll send you that link once that's completed. So there's a question about, do they need a student email to make an advising appointment, even though that's not going to happen for a little bit?
No, you can email, you can reach out, you can call. I'll put our number in the chat. You can call, well, our phone number. That's the advising phone number that I just put in. I mean, that's how if you, and we also have drop-ins on Wednesday nights too.
Yes, there's another question about taking summer classes. You can take them, as Sharon said, through Open University. If someone can drop the Open University link into the chat, it's a little bit different because you're a fall 21 admit. That is going to affect how you're going to be able to take those classes. And it's just there's information about how to go about that. And also note that the cost is different through Open University than it is for your CSUMB tuition. And then also, Sharon, is fall semester going to be both online and in person?
Yeah, there's going to be a combination of summer. I mean, there's a lot of in person. There are online options because due to room capacity, because we're doing social distancing. So it'll be a mix of in person and online. So, I mean, the students that I've kind of met with are looking to schedule, like, yeah, I could probably have 3 in person and 1 online. Some people are like, I have a complex schedule, I want to find more online. So there will be a good mix of classes available.
So we still have a few minutes if folks want to hang out and drop questions into the chat. I want to give a shout out to the peer mentors who are here, the transfer peer mentors who work in the Transfer Student Success Center, who have helped me out here. If they want to go ahead and introduce themselves real quick so everybody can know all the support that I've gotten right now. Bryant.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bryant. I'm a peer mentor at the Transfer Student Success Center. I'm a senior HCOM major, and I'm graduating in 26 days. And I'll pass it to Stephanie.
Hey, everyone. My name's Stephanie. I'm a liberal studies major. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I will be graduating in fall, so I will get to meet a few of you guys. I hope you guys do slide by this transfer center, whether we're in person or via Zoom. So that's all to be determined, of course. And I will be passing it to Addison. You, Addison. We'll pass it to Carla if she's here.
Hi everyone, sorry I'm driving. But my name is Carla. I am an HCOM major. I am also graduating in 26 days, and I transferred in from Cabrillo College. And yeah, I'm like, I don't know who to pass it to.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Addison.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Hi, I'm Addie. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm going to be a senior next year, so it'll be my last 2 semesters at CSUMB, but I'm really excited and I hope that you guys come to our events and just have fun.
Hi everyone, my name is Selene. I am a transfer student from Monterey Peninsula College. I am one of the newest peer mentors over at the Transfer Center, so I'll probably be working with a few of you students next semester, and I'm finishing up my first year, so I'm excited to be here with all of you.
Awesome. Thank you for that introduction. There was a question about how to get jobs on campus or information. So I put in a link to Otter Jobs. That is going to be the portal with all the information for jobs both on and off campus that we offer to students that, you know, either we have here on campus or that our career development folks have kind of vetted as being, you know, jobs that aren't scams or anything like that. So once you get all the information you need, you can create an account in Otter Jobs and see all the different offerings that we have. Yeah, Stephanie also put in there, follow us on our social media, on our Instagram, and we also have a Facebook group that you all could join. So make sure you do that. I'm trying to go through there and see that I make sure I didn't miss any questions. Oh, Eddie or Matt, someone wants to know if they can change their major still.
Yeah, hi, I'm Matt Daines. I work in the admissions office. The way that we allow students to change their major is to work with your advisor. So you'd reach out to the advising office, and what you'd want to do is you want to reach out to the advisor for the major that you want to switch to. And there's a whole list on you can go to csumb.edu/advising page and see the list of majors that are there. So important for you to contact them and try to get that switched to. A good goal for you if you're trying to do that is to try and do that in early June so that it can be switched when you go to orientation. My best recommendation there.
There was also a question about somebody had registered for orientation. Is there anything else they have to do? I'm going to go ahead and say attend all the days in CSUMB Transfer Week. So there's 4 more days with information to get. So make sure you come to those 4 days. And then after you're done with that, you should be good to go until orientation happens. Other questions? You can go ahead and drop those into the chat. There's still a good amount of us right here to answer those questions. We'll probably hang on for like another 3 or 4 minutes until about 6:15. Stephanie also dropped the evaluation into the chat. If you haven't grabbed that link, grab that already and make sure you fill it out so we can make sure that we send you the recording of this when it's all said and done. And Eddie put into the link, how do you change your major? He put that link in there. When will we receive our student emails? So you're going to get matriculated on May 4th. And then at that point, it's going to take a little while, I think 24 hours for that to be generated. And so you should have your email after that point. Is there a deadline to declare a major? I think most folks have declared a major on their application, correct? Is that correct, Matt and Eddie?
Oh, they're asking about the minor, actually. How do we declare a minor? When is the deadline to declare one? That's a great question for your advisor. And there's actually, correct me if I'm wrong, Jacinto, the advisors are coming in to do an advising session on Wednesday this week at Transfer Week. I think that's a great question for them. And if you're not able to come this Wednesday, which hopefully you are, I would say that's a great orientation question for them, or when you meet with them individually.
Right, they're going to be here this week, and so that's a great question to ask advising when they come through. The short answer is you need to talk to the advisor for the major of the minor that you want to choose, but there's some other things to take into consideration before you do that. So that's why it's important that you talk to a major advisor and hear from them this Wednesday. And then you could ask that question specifically to them and get an answer. Yeah, the question again is about when do you meet with your advisors? So so you have to come to orientation. That's going to be the first time that you're going to meet your major advisor. And after that, you're going to register for classes about a month after. So to meet your major advisor, make sure you register, you do your enrollment confirmation, first of all, get that done, and then register for orientation and attend orientation. And that's when you'll begin that official relationship with your major advisor. What types of clubs are there on campus? I don't know if any of the peer mentors want to take this question, and then also drop the club link into the chat as well.
I can go. There are so many different types of clubs on campus, from affinity groups to interests to when we were in person, there was like intramural sports, so you didn't have to be like on a certain sport team. So there's so many different interests and stuff like that. We are currently going through a change, like a data change, I would say. We're going from one software to another. And I know a lot of clubs have a deadline for May 1st to re-register onto this new data system. So it's kind of hard to give like which link, because we do have an old one where we have all of our clubs, but then we're going onto this new one where not a lot of clubs are registered yet. But I will drop both of those into the chat, and getting involved is super great. I know first year experience had mentioned that there is like, it's like an otter day, one of those otter days where clubs table and, you know, you get interested into different clubs. So yes.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Stephanie. There's also, Noelle, there's also a question in the chat about how students accept their financial aid award.
Yeah, so right now your current estimate, it's estimated. So all the award letters that you guys see are currently estimated, so you cannot accept them as of now. Usually we will send another communication through your CSUMB email, usually after orientation, to let you know that your final awards are posted on your OASIS account. So all awards you cannot accept at this moment since they're currently estimated awards.
And when that happens, you will go into OASIS and accept your financial aid award in OASIS.
Yep, perfect.
And we are going to be, if you don't know what OASIS is, you probably don't. We're going to be providing some resources about how to do things in OASIS, how to navigate it. So be looking for that information from us via email, and also we'll post that on our social media. So it's another good reason to follow us on social media as well. So we are about out of time, folks. If there's any burning questions, you have the contact information from the people that presented. You could always contact them or their department. Now you know, have a face with the name and a resource. You can always rewatch this recording once it gets posted on our YouTube and I send it out to you all. Also, if one of the peer mentors will put in the Transfer Student Success Center website and also our email in case they have questions. If you don't know who to talk to or you can't remember, you could always contact us and we can point you in the right direction if we can't directly answer your question. We're definitely here to support you to make sure that your transition is smooth, that you feel supported and you find community in your transfer journey. And the peer mentors and myself are here to make that happen. I encourage you to attend all the other CSUMB Transfer Week events. They're definitely going to help you in your transition and make you a little bit more confident and informed about what it is you need to do to be a successful transfer student at CSUMB. So there's the evaluation form one more time if you hadn't had the chance to grab that. Thank you, Bryant. You're welcome to everybody who's thanking us for the session. And we'll see you. There's our website, csumb.edu/transfer center. Check us out. We have a calendar of events and all kinds of cool stuff, including the bios for some of the peer mentors. And there's our email if you need anything. Like I said, you can contact us. Stay engaged, stay connected, and reach out when you need support. So thanks a lot for everybody for coming, and we hope to see all of you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.